Hello out there, and today's video is going to be very different from what I originally intended it to be. Because you can see this Benchmade mini Onslaught up here that I was originally going to compare this Ganzo 711 to. But my experience with the 711 has been so interesting and has had a number of twists and turns, so I really want to focus on this knife alone today. And I'll bring the mini Onslaught back in a couple times for reference, but for the most part, really going to focus on the Ganzo. And in order to get to why we're talking about the Ganzo, I really need to do a quick summary of my experience with Ganzo as a whole. This is only my third Ganzo knife. My first one was an axis lock mechanism Ganzo as well. It's this one, the G7452-CF. And I got this and compared it to the Benchmade HK model that shares the same design. And that review I thought was a pretty darn favorable one. You know, I called the Ganzo a really good budget EDC, just a strong folder, good blade, liked it overall, but the one problem that I had with it was that the axis lock, it just stuck. It stuck a little bit. It was a little bit stiff, but for the most part, it just stuck. And I got a lot of information in the comments about Ganzo and Ganzo's quality control. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people were saying that I got a lemon. A lot of people were saying that Ganzo is just improved to the point now that that, you know, their stuff is just on a different level and that I definitely need to give them another chance. And I was planning to do that anyway, guys. I mean, I'm not going to judge a whole company based on one example of one knife. You know, that doesn't make any sense to me. So, you know, I really wanted to get another Ganzo in my hands, and so I went with one that wasn't an axis style lock, and it was this one, the G743-2-BK. And I'll link to both of these videos in the description down below if you want to look at those. But this one really impressed me, guys. Really cool frame lock design here. It locks up nicely. Good gentleman's folder. The fit and finish on all these pieces is really good for the money that you're paying. It exceeded my expectation. I'll put it that way. So really good overall, and I really like this one. So after that, I decided to go back to the axis locking mechanism, and I decided to get another knife that I had the original design for, and that brings us here to the 711. All right, and when I unboxed this knife, when I unboxed this 711, which as you can see is, you know, nearly identical to the Onslaught in design, probably more to the full-size Onslaught than the mini here, but yeah. But when I unboxed this knife, I was so impressed, guys. So impressed. Really love the blade, obviously. I knew that I would, but the G10, and you can see it just on camera, is awesome. It's really cool. It looks cool. The visual texture is amazing. And then the way that it actually feels in the hand is really good. It's grippy, but it isn't sharp. All right. There is a little bit of sharpness on like the edges down here, on like the actual liners and, you know, the edge of the G10. There's no milling. You know, there's the things that you would sort of expect if you're getting a knife in the sub $20 range. No big deal for any of that stuff, right? But just really blown away by how cool the G10 was. And then the thing that impressed me the most, the absolute most, was this right here. This axis bar. Look at how far that extends. All right, really, really cool. Because what that means is, since it's not recessed, I'm not going to have to be digging my fingers in. You know, it's going to be very comfortable to actuate. And it was. I just really liked it. I'm just really happy with the quality of the axis bar and how much easier it is to use than I expected it to be. So, you know, I was going to do a first initial, you know, an initial review, just a first impression kind of video, and compare it to the Benchmade up here. And right before I did, I was just playing around with the knife and went like this and noticed blade play. Up and down blade play on this one, guys. And a bit of a bummer because everything else on this knife was so good. So good. And yeah, just you probably can't see it. I don't think you can hear it, but it's just enough that yeah, it's not going to be safe to use. So again, that's not a deal breaker either. I've had those kind of issues with CRKTs, with Kershaws, definitely with Gerbers, which is why you'll never see a Gerber folding knife on my channel. Maybe one day I'll tell that story. But the Ganzo, not a deal breaker, and I still really like the knife. Cool thing about Amazon, like I've said before with another experience, is you can start the return process but not send the knife in for 30 days. So I have the replacement right here before I had to ship in the original. So very cool to be able to have these knives next to each other, and that's where this conversation takes another twist and turn. So you can see these knives look a little bit different in the scales, and the fact of the matter is they're not the same. So it's not a huge difference, but the G10 here is a little more glossy. It's a little more defined with how deep the milling is and how sharp it is. But it still feels really cool, but it's just definitely not exactly the same as the first one that I got. All right, and from here on in, I'm going to be calling this knife the replacement. All right, so the replacement still had a really good G10, but it was definitely different visually and feels just a little bit different too. All right, which was a little strange, but it is what it is. The one thing though that was really big and different was that access bar. You see how the replacement on the right has a recessed bar and the one on the left has that nice full extended one that I was so happy about? So that's sort of what I got. The replacement, while it locks up really well, it doesn't have the one quality that I was so excited about from the first one. So it's just, a little bit disappointing, because while this knife is still really cool, and had I never gotten the first one and only got the replacement, I would have been really happy with it and would have said very favorable things about it. Gosh, I wish I had that longer access bar, because it would have worked so much better. And what I think happened with these two knives is that Ganzo, in an effort to continually improve their product, which you were all telling me in the comments, in the previous videos, they probably improved the knife, and this is actually the newer incarnation. The first one that I got is probably the newer version. With the longer access bar, it actuates easier and better. The action is a little bit better. So that's probably the newer version, and the replacement I got is an older generation of it. And the problem with that is that there's no marking of that. There's no way of being able to tell. So these are the two boxes, and the labels are exactly the same. I mean, exactly the same. The numbers are the same. 7-Eleven is the same. There's no difference whatsoever. So if you were to go on Amazon right now and order this knife, I mean, you don't know which one of these two that you're going to get. If there's only two, there could be even more. Who knows? But I also got these both from the same seller. So, the seller might not even know that they have two different Ganzos, two different incarnations of the same model. They might just all be lumped together. When people ask, or when people talk about the difference in quality control between Ganzo or any other overseas company versus an American made company, or just a higher end company, forget what nation it's from, but a higher end versus a lower end. I mean, that's one of the things. It's not just the quality of materials, it's the quality of distribution, and just really following up on crossing the T's and dotting the I's and making sure that things stay separated. Because here, while I can recommend that, hey, if you get a 7-Eleven with good lockup, provided you have good lockup, you'll have a pretty good knife. I mean, it's hard to completely endorse the design when I don't know which one you're really going to get. If you ordered this knife, you're like, well, JT said it's a really good one, and then you open it up, you're like, oh, what a bummer, I didn't get the really good one, I got the pretty good one. It's just sort of frustrating kind of thing. And something I wanted to bring to your attention, because that is, that's sort of what you pay for. One of the things you don't realize you're paying for when you're buying from a more high-end company that charges more. I mean, all these little details are the things that they're supposed to hit on all the time. And stuff like this is sort of to be expected when you have a lower-end, more budget kind of company. Now, all that said, I want to make it perfectly clear. I'm happy with the purchase. Wish I would have gotten the better one the second time around, but I'm not done with Ganzo in any way, guys. Not any way, shape, or form. I'm going to keep giving these guys a shot and see what else they have, because I think there's too much positive here to dismiss them for some minor things like this. But again, really wanted it brought to your attention. If you have any similar experiences with them, definitely let me know in the comments down below. One last thing I want to do, and I know we're already 10 minutes in, but since I started my YouTube channel, I wanted to do a giveaway that was a surprise giveaway. And that's what we're going to do right now. So this giveaway is only going to be for anyone who has watched this video for the first 10.5 minutes and is still here sticking around. All right, it's my way of saying thank you for seeing the videos all the way through, and I really appreciate it. I'm not going to be talking about this giveaway anywhere at all in any other videos. I might do a little bit of a teaser in an Instagram post, maybe. But let me just show you what we're going to give away, and then I'll let you know what you have to do to enter it, okay? So there's going to be one winner for all of these items. The first one is going to be the G743-2-BK. Essentially brand new, carried once or twice, in really, really good shape. The second thing is a Kershaw Shuffle 2. All right, now this Shuffle 2 has never left my house. It has been slightly modified. I sanded down the bottom of the liners here to make it a little less sharp, so it is more comfortable in the hand. And then also over here by this screw, let me get it focused. There were like these little tabs on both sides, and I took those down too. And I wasn't really careful doing it. I just wanted them gone to make it more comfortable in the hand. So I did strip the paint off the screw. The screw's fine, but the paint is sort of stripped off a little bit. But essentially, apart from that, I mean, this knife has never been carried. So yeah, basically brand new Kershaw Shuffle 2. I'm also going to give away a green and black lanyard as made by Minnesota Knife Guy. So very cool thing there. And then two more small little things. One of them is a little skull bead to go with that lanyard or any other lanyard you might have. Not really an expensive bead at all, but just one that I had lying around that I'm never going to use. So maybe you'll enjoy that. And then last but not least is it's a non-knife related thing sort of, but it's just a cool thing for EDC that I use regularly. And this is called the Free Key System. And guys, I don't work for them. They're not advertising with me, nothing like that. I just bought a 2-pack of these. I got one for my wife, and she didn't want it. And what it is basically is a key ring that is just really easy to get stuff on and off of. And with my job, I like to carry as little into work as possible. So I use this like all the time, every day, and really like it, and thought maybe it's something you might be able to use. And if not, you can gift it to someone who needs it. All right, so cool little thing to have there. So these are the items in the giveaway. So the way that you enter the giveaway is going to sort of be secret so that people who aren't aware of the giveaway don't get clued in. All right. Again, I really want this to be for the people who are watching right now. So the way that you enter is in the comments down below. With your comment, you just type "I want it." All right. I want it. All right, and so you can give your full comment. JT, you want to know what? I respect your opinion, but I really disagree. Like, Ganzo is great in this area. I've never had a problem with their access lock, yada, yada, yada. I want it. And then you're entered, okay? Or you can just comment those 3 words. However you want to do it, as long as those words appear in your comment, you are entered. The other things you need to be aware of, you need to be 18 in order to enter. You need to live in any of the 50 states or Canada. You need to be aware of your local knife laws, and you also need to be able to contact me through YouTube messaging or in the comments or something, all right? Because, again, in past giveaways, I've had a couple issues where I haven't been able to get in touch with people fast enough, and I really want to be able to send these things out just as soon as possible, all right? So this giveaway is going to last for 5 days from the posting of this video. So if this is posted, I believe today is Wednesday, so we'll go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday of next week. This video, I will put that the giveaway is closed, and we'll do a drawing for one winner. It's that simple. All right, guys? Like I said, make sure you're a subscriber. Make sure you know about all the those other details, but good luck. Thank you very much for watching to the end of videos. That means a lot for seeing everything through. I will be doing more giveaways in the future for, for everybody that I'll do an announcement for. So don't worry if you missed out on this one. But guys, I appreciate your time. Any other questions, comments, complaints, suggestions, let me know below. Say that you want it, and I appreciate it. Have a good one. Take care.